Good morning, Professor Hoda. Welcome to the chat session.
Hi, and thank you very much for inviting me to this interaction session.
Everybody was really appreciative towards your research and the paper that you had presented at the conference. And that is why you have been selected as our eminent participant. And this chat session is basically for the other people who are hesitant or who are not that motivated to attend online conferences. So we just want to send them a message that because due to COVID, we are not able to conduct offline conferences or physical conferences. So online conferences is the only resolution, and we really want to motivate people to join us for this and keep continuing with their research and to present their papers at the conference. So may I request you to please introduce yourself?
Okay, sure, with pleasure. Before I introduce myself, I would like to say for those people who are hesitant to join to this kind of conferences, I believe that they will miss a great chance of learning and extending their understanding and experiences as well. Once again, thank you very much for inviting me to this interaction session. It's my great pleasure to attend to the conference, and I had really great time out there. My name is Hoda Fakour. I'm originally from Iran, a great country in Middle East. It's been like about 10 years I've been studying and working in Taiwan. I've got my PhD there, and also I passed my postdoctoral research there in National Taiwan University. Since 2018, I moved to Changchun Christian University of Taiwan, so-called CJCU, working as an assistant professor, a student advisor, and as well as do my own research there. I'm particularly working in International Program for Sustainable Development. We call it IPSD. It's a kind of hands-in-action program that we provide interdisciplinary learning on environmental sustainability, civil action, and international affairs and cultural diversity to the students and those young people who want to make the world a better place to live. My research area specifically is about environmental science and monitoring, water quality assessment, as well as more recently climate change adaptation and mitigations. And this is what I have also presented in the conference. If I have time, I may explain a bit about my research area, which I presented in the conference as well.
Please,
is that okay?
Please carry on, yes.
Sure, thank you. We all know that despite all international efforts in reducing greenhouse gas emissions that we call them GHGs, still the main cause of global warming is still climate change, and it's projected to be continuing over the next centuries. We all know that all cities may face the risk from the different ranges of the consequences of those climate change, like extreme weather events and changing climatic patterns. But coastal cities are highly threatened by the consequences of both climatic and anthropogenic changes. As on the other side, we know that the increasing urban density in many Asian countries considered to be the epicenter of the current urbanization surge. And among different Asian affected areas by climate change, Taiwan is quite a vulnerable region, facing the challenges of intensified typhoons and sea level rise. Southern Taiwan is particularly an ideal example of a region with large prospects for growth, both from the population and the economy, and it's situated in coastal areas where climate-induced disasters mostly occur. So in my study, I tried to address disaster risk in southern Taiwan at both the city and zone levels through what we call the Climate Disaster Resilience Index. It's a kind of approach that can explore the spatial distribution and relative importance of a resilience and patterns of different low or high levels of resilience spots and support future planning decisions, as well as enhancement of community resilience. It helped to show different capabilities, shortcomings, drawbacks, and potential risks of neighboring cities in the same region. And it's a kind of practical tool and can be helped for the future disaster risk management plans.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving the brief about the research and for your introduction. So, Professor Hoda, I would like to ask, what was your motivation that kept you going with the research that you were doing? Because COVID has not been easy for any of us. So, what was your motivation during that time?
That's a very good question. Actually, being in a scholarly world and atmosphere can be always challenging experience, no matter who you are or how you cope with different situations. But this year, we've had to cope with an extra anxiety surrounding COVID-19. Not a single person I know has not felt some kind of anxiety over this fear. Everyday life seems to be harder, deadlines seem to be more pressure than usual. So motivation is sometimes lagging, and winter breaks was not the relaxing time most people were expecting. Just like many other people, I've also chosen to stay home and try to practice social distancing, and I worked from remote. Yeah. But I was lucky enough to also focus more on my research parts. So I wouldn't say it was too bad for me, but I missed my independence, obviously, and my own space. But overall, I learned how to cope with it. It's important, that despite the difficulties surrounding COVID, we keep in mind the reasons why we're doing the work we're doing. It's really difficult being in the same room for days at a time with no ability to break up through social events or going for a day out, but there's always a way to make most of it. One of the best ways to keep our academic work dynamic and updated during the pandemic, I believe it's through the virtual meetings and conferences, where global professionals and colleagues can share information through webinars and network using maybe chat tools, meeting schedules, and this is one of the benefits of attending to virtual conferences.
Yeah. So do you think that your experience to attend online conference rather than the physical conference, what was your experience and how would you compare both the experiences?
I think we all had online events like webinars existed before COVID, but virtual conferences further present recently. And it also showed some benefits as well as challenges to navigate our attendees. For example, you can attend more than one conference and it helps our professional development needs while saving money for travel as well. Yeah. Although we have the challenge of attending a virtual conference because we lose face-to-face networking aspects, but we need to all remember the reasons why we're attending, most likely to have to present our research, learn about the other people's research, gaining professional development skills, and networking. This is points that I would like to maybe highlight a little bit because of networking. Sometimes we may need to think out of the box because at in-person or physical conference, usually we carry around business cards and exchange them with the other people when we meet them. But the point is maybe people will ask how we can handle networking in virtual conferences. I think most virtual conferences, they may not have a very formal base of networking, but that doesn't mean you cannot take the initiative to do networking. Once you map out the sessions you would like to attend, you can attend them and ask great questions, you can deal with people. Then we can follow up through the LinkedIn, Facebook, or whatever connection system the conference portal uses to connect speakers and other attendees. By that way, you can make sure that you fill out your update your profile as well. So it's a good way to build connections to be active through the social media during the virtual conference. You need to make sure to add like the hashtags of the conference when there is a key takeaways, comments, or whatever we're learning. I think being an active in social media is very great way to connect with other professionals during those online conferences.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for saying some good things about online conferences, because most of the people have been inclined to a physical conference because it's been a while since we have been traveling easily and freely without thinking about the health or anything. Initially, it was just about the visa or the flights or everything, but now it's about the health most importantly, because COVID has made us think about all these things. So thank you so much. So do you think that you'll be referring Eurasia Research to your colleagues or to your friends in future to join?
Obviously, yes, and definitely yes, because the good point of virtual conference is that they also allow more people to participate. Many virtual conferences have a very low fee for people, especially for students. So it means that now we can have more participants at the conferences, especially at this moment, because the cost of travel is not a part of the cost of going to the conference. Yeah. So it's good for us that we can pay less to attend. It's good for students especially. And it's also another point that maybe not many people will consider, that is that for those of us like me, I'm a mom of 2 kids. So for those of us who have some care responsibilities, it's much easier to combine attending a conference with our care duties. Then we can attend the conference from comfort of our home. We don't have to worry about how to take care of our kids. Also, we don't need to worry about the carbon footprint of our conference attendance anymore. We should not ignore the networking events simply because they're virtual now. As we have learned what works well and what doesn't in virtual networking over the past year, many conferences now have very valuable networking events going on. You can join the focus breakout rooms for discussions, focus group discussions. There are many fun and innovative ways. So I will definitely suggest people to try that, and it's a good experience to try.
Thank you so much. And what do you think? What was your experience to work with, associate with Eurasia Research?
Well, actually, International Conference on Science and Technology Research, ICSTR in Budapest, It was actually quite exceptional. It was very helpful, just what I needed during this pandemic. The level of expertise and knowledge of presenters were excellent, and I've learned a great deal for application in both my academic career and in my life generally. Not just the technical talks were outstanding mind opener, but also team activity sessions was quite interesting, where we've been sharing our thoughts and experiences on the social media effects on human communication. I think that was very related to what we're doing currently. I personally enjoyed a lot sharing my understanding with the others and definitely learned new strategies. This conference basically gave me a time to reflect and grow in several aspects of personal and professional life. I've gained many good ideas from my colleagues. I would like to say big thanks to the conference organizers and Eurasia Research, because they made this happen.
Thank you so much, Hoda, Professor Hoda. Thank you so much for the kind words, and thank you for participating at the conference. And we feel glad to have participants like you at the conference, because of your participants like you, the conference gets more interesting, and it's enjoyed by all, and it motivates others also to interact and have conversations during the conference. So thank you so much for joining with us on our request to be here as the eminent participant for the chat session. And I'm sure this video will help others also, and it will motivate others as well to participate in the online conferences. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a win-win trade, and I recommend everyone to try that experience. Thank you very much for inviting me to these interaction sessions.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much. And please be safe and happy weekend to you.
Thanks so much. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Good day to you too. Bye.
Bye.